Ayan, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, mga moms. Welcome again sa ating expert corner dito sa Momsatwork. And today is another interesting topic, no? Lagi namang interesting ang topic natin, especially pag expert corner, no? So we have invited another mga special guests, special expert moms to walk us through the basics of becoming a podcast VA, no? Ayan. So before anything else, I would like to greet yung mga nanonood. Can you comment po below and say podcast VA? Can you say that para ma-acknowledge namin kayo? Ayan. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, mga moms, no? Alam ko talaga na this is a perfect time para matulog at magpahinga, but you are here joining us this afternoon. So thank you so much. Ayan. Okay. So, sabi ko nga that our topic for today is how to become a... Ayan, hello Meek! Ayan, hello Meek! Thank you for watching. So, ang topic natin for today is how to become a podcast VA. But before anything else, ano ba yung podcast? Okay, so a podcast it's a radio program that is stored in a digital form that you can download from the internet and you can play it pwede sa computer mo or sa MP3 player mo, yung mga ganun. So at least pakikinggan mo lang siya, no? And according to Google, there's around 700,000 live podcasts to date. So kung ganun kadami ang mga podcast, hindi talaga siya surprise na ang mga podcast producers are highly in demand, no? Kasi even yung mga businesses and yung mga brands are into podcasting na rin. And having said that, yung mga business owners are looking to outsource podcasting tasks to virtual assistants. Kasi yung podcast na pagiging podcast, I mean gawa pala or yung pag-edit ng podcast is a very tedious job. And dahil booming ang industry na ito, there's a number of podcast VAs keep on rising every day, no? So, there's indeed a law of supply and demand. Kasi, booming siya, pero konti lang yung nandito sa niche na ito, no? So, yun, kaya nag-invite tayo ng mga special guests, no? Ito talaga sila, mga mag-expert talaga dito. So, they are coaches and they are really good sa niche na ito and they will help us and make us understand and walk us through papaano if you want to explore this niche, okay? So, hindi ko na po patatagalin pa mga moms. I would like to introduce our expert mommies this afternoon. So, the two founded ValuePOD Productions. It's a full-service podcast production company helping high-ticket B2B entrepreneurs broadcast their authority and expertise in front of the right audience through a well-crafted podcast, resulting in the relentless flow of inbound leads and more business. So, I would like to welcome once again ang ating mga expert mommies and coaches din, mga podcasters. I would like to bring them on the show, Mommy Eloisa and Mommy Ce. Hello mga moms!
Hi, Mommy May. It's nice to be back.
Hi, Moms.
Thank you for joining, Mom. So, parang kailan lang, no? Nag-coffee with coaches, no?
Oo nga.
And actually, Moms, no, we really had fun sa discussion natin last time. And nung after the discussion, maraming na-intriga. Ano ba yung podcast? Diba? Kasi, nagfo-fall ba yung podcast sa SMM, Moms?
Ano siya, Mommy May? Parang hindi siya under ng SMM, pero magkapatid sila actually. Kasi since pareha yung both of the niches revolves around content. So, yung content na ginagawa sa podcast, minamarket siya through SMM. So, ano sila? Interconnected yung dalawang industry. Yep.
Ayun. So, kung kagaya sa akin na interested kayong malaman, kasi the last time na nandito si Mami Ce at saka si Mami Eloisa, nag-ano lang yun chika-chikahan lang and all that So, ngayon talaga, they will walk us through paano nila ginagawa yun. Diba? Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, booming yung industry na to, pero parang konti lang ang mga VAs, moms, no? Na mga podcast VAs. So, tutulungan nila tayo, yung mga mommies natin out there, to explore kung ano ba itong niche na ito, and if this is something that you can try for yourself, invest para sa inyong mga sarili, and navigate. Baka naman pala, podcast VA ang pwede sa inyo. Ayun, so hindi na natin patatagalin pa. Ito turn over ko na kayo sa ating mga mommy coaches, mommy experts. Ma'am?
Thank you, Ma'am
Thank
May.
you,
Ayan.
Pakishare na
Ma'am
na screen, ma'am. Nawala pala.
Ito, ayan.
Ayun. Thank you, ma'am.
Ay, wait lang po. Ayan, nalilito ako mag-nab. Kita na ba ating Eloy? Kita na kaya?
Meron ba ayan, parang kita na siya. May magsasabi ba sa atin na mga momshies or mga father na nanonood dyan, can you let us know if you could see the slides para naman alam namin na nakikita nyo yung namin, i-discuss namin ni Se. So habang nag-check kami, advance happy Father's Day sa mga nanonood na daddy dyan. I think kita na siya, Se. I could see it
sige.
na. Oo.
Ayan. So, for this afternoon, what we're gonna do, ating Eloy, is to show them ano ba talaga yung role ng mga podcast VA. So, sinabi kanina ni Mami May, di ba, na ang podcasting is really booming right now, and sinabi niya kanina na stats is there is 700,000 live podcast shows right now, and by law of demand, kung mataas ang demand, syempre merong kung mataas ang demand for a certain skill at kung booming yung industry, syempre yung mga gusto nating i-support na mga industries ay nangangailangan ng support. So for today, ipapakita natin sa kanila kung ano ba yung role ng isang indispensable podcast VA, tsaka kung ano ba talaga yung mga tasks or mga or ano yung tulong nito sa isang business. And we will also show them the secrets behind keeping our clients long term. So ayan. For those na nakikinig sa atin ngayon, meron lang tayong mga housekeeping, since ang Moms at Work is very serious about giving you knowledge and giving you some opportunities pa. May we turn off our distractions for like an hour, tapos please open your heart and mind to receive what we present to you, kasi kapares ng sinabi ni Mami May, baka sakaling maging opportunity din ito, at ito na ang skill na gusto nyo palang i-try sa inyong freelancing career. And then this session or this webinar is for current or aspiring podcast VAs who wants to know more about podcast production. It is for freelancers who has existing podcaster clients that are looking to upskill or niche down, or gusto niyang magkaroon ng skill na pagkaka-expertan. And then if you are someone who loves podcasts and you want to develop the skill that eventually you can offer as a service. So you will learn the basics of podcast virtual assistants, the roles of an indispensable podcast VA, at syempre, i-reveal din namin yung 3 C's of secret sauce of podcast servicing, para if ever na gusto nyo tong i-apply, alam nyo na kung ano yung mga checklist or ano ba yung mga importanteng kino-consider for you to be able to cater to your clients, at the same time, makanil kayo ng kliyente na maayos. Ayan. So, ating Eloy?
Ayan, sino ba kami para magkwento ng about pagiging podcast VA? So, Se and I, under our belt, we were able to help yung mga podcasters na nakikita nyo. If you are watching right now, you will see some of the shows that we supported. And also, on top of that, we also have some media appearances. Meron din kaming na-feature kami sa Manila Times, which is the oldest broadcast sheet dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. And we are, Se and I were also a session lecturer, presenter sa Skills, Mindset, and Secrets Hacks sa Smash, which is run by one of our mentors, si Ann Peña Redondo. We also presented to a number of business owners na very very intimate, which is in a mastermind setting, wherein we discuss also the benefits of having a podcast added on their marketing efforts. And also we were also lucky enough to have been attended, or na na rin kami, na-guest kami sa mga LinkedIn lives dito sa atin sa mga creator natin doon sa LinkedIn. So, ayan. So, may dadagdag ka
Ayan.
pa?
Wala. So, ayan. So, under our experience, we were able to launch podcast shows, over 60 plus na. Tapos, collectively, yung nakuha naming license doon sa lahat ng podcast show na mini-maintain namin is over 2 million na. Tapos, we were able to produce then 1.5 thousand, 1.5 podcast episodes na. So, end-to-end servicing ito. So, si ValuePOD, kung bakit kami nakikipag-tie up and nakipag-collaborate sa sa mga freelancing groups kaparehas ng Moms at Work is because we want to really introduce yung pagiging podcast VA, or gusto naming iput yung podcast production as a skill that is not just a general VA skill but a skill that pays premium. And today we will like give you an overview of paano ba siya nangyayari. So, if ready na kayo, please type in yes. If you want predictable income, kung ikaw ay someone na gusto mo ng magtrabaho ng flexible hours, at saka if gusto mo ng scalable podcast business. Ayan. Ating Ellen, ano ba ang isang podcast? Alam ko nasabi na to ni Mami May kanina eh.
Ayan, so dagdagan lang natin yung dagdag kaalaman lang sa ibinahagi sa atin ni Mami May. What is a podcast? This is similar as to you having your own radio show at your preferred airtime and frequency. Para po itong radyo, yung show sa radyo, ang kaibahan lang ay ang podcast po ay mapapakinggan nyo anytime and anywhere you want to listen to it. Unlike kasi sa mga radyo, sa mga radio show, you have to tune in at a certain time para mapakinggan mo yung paborito mong DJ. Sa podcast, as long as you download the episode, nasa sa kamay mo na kung kailan mo siya papakinggan at kung saan mo rin siya pakikinggan. So yun yung pagkakaiba at pagkakapareho ng podcast sa isang radio show.
Yes. Tapos ang isang podcast ay mako-consume natin using podcast apps such as Spotify. Alam ko yung mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon familiar naman with Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Castbox. Ito yung mga usual mga podcast apps na nakakapag-play ng ating podcast content. Kaparehas kanina sinabi ko yung kailangan maging indispensable podcast VAs tayo. If you're curious, ba't ko ba sinasabi na indispensable? So minsan kasi dahil ang podcast talaga is normally nasa top of the marketing funnel siya. Minsan parang siya yung ginagamit na pang ads, or it is the medium para sa visibility ng ating mga podcasters. And dahil nga kung sakaling mag-start sila ng podcast at hindi pa sila strategic sa pag-put up or pag-integrate nito dun sa business model nila, minsan parang si podcast ay isang expense lang. And kung ang creator feeling niya expensive podcast, tayong mga service provider, isipin natin paano tayo magiging indispensable. And ito yung gusto naming maliwanagan kayo. Ang pagiging indispensable, ibig sabihin nito, essential ka dun sa business. Ibig sabihin, importante ka. And kapag importante ka, syempre, at napapakita mo dun sa client mo kung paano mo siya masusuportahan, mas makikita ni client na you are someone, or you are a freelancer that is worth keeping. Na brand partner ka nila, partner ka ng business growth nila. And paano ba natin to gagawin? Ayan, kasi nga itong image na to, dahil nga minsan nasa top of marketing, nasa top na tayo ng funnel, minsan una si podcast or yung pagko-content yung una nasa slash, and ipapakita namin sa inyo kung paano nyo poprotektahan yung service nyo at paano kayo magiging brand partner. So, ano ba yung mga benefits of running a podcast for your business, ating Eloy?
Siyempre, meron tayong 4 na nilista dito na benepisyo na nakita namin na nag-benefit sa aming mga kliyente ni Se. So, una na dito ay ang authority building. We see podcast as parang stage for our clients to make them known for what they are good at. And then second is free advertising. Imagine siya, yung you have the full control of your own real estate. Hindi siya nakabase sa pagpaparan mo ng ads through another platform. Ikaw ang may control, so free advertising siya. Ikaw ang bahala kung anong ilalagay mong commercial dyan sa iyong episode. And then the third one is yung platform to build relationship. We see podcast as a network building na na process. It was a reciprocity process for both the host and the guest, and this is the easiest for you to get to know other people na kaya mong iserve. And then the fourth one is nurturing content for your community. Kasi alam naman natin when you are listening, or if you are a radio listener and a podcast listener, you are very loyal to the DJs or to the podcasters. So the podcast will help your clients to nurture the community para ano bang tawag doon? It's a conversation, an intimate conversation between you and the host, which will eventually hindi na magiging awkward kung sakasakaling mag-o-offer ka ng something at the very end of each episode. So ayan, go.
Yes. Ayun nga, sabi namin kanina, ipapakita namin sa inyo yung actual or yung two sides of the servicing. So, we will present to you actual client case studies para malaman nyo kung ano ba talagang ginagawa ng isang podcast VA. So, today, I just want you to meet Dave. Si Dave ay isa sa aming podcast launch client. So, itong client na to ay isang real estate mentor sa Canada, and he is the host of the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. And si Dave, nung lumapit siya sa akin, ang problema niya is that gusto niyang mag-podcast pero aware siya na kapag siya ang gumawa ng podcast, ang daming involved doon sa pag-create or pag-put up ng podcast idea niya to life, meaning from that podcast idea to it being an actual podcast show. Kasi ito si Dave, meron na siyang experience being a vlogger. So, before he encountered podcasting, ang ginagawa niya is nagbo-vlog siya. So, nire-record niya yung sarili niya, nire-record niya tapos sasalita siya about the real estate expertise that he has. Alam niya na parang very taxing na after niya i-record yung videos niya, i-upload niya pa yon sa YouTube, i-edit niya pa yon by himself. So, nung naisip niyang mag-podcast, parang nadadala na siya, ayaw niya nang gawin. Gusto niyang mag-podcast pero alam niya na kapag siya ang gumawa, hindi mangyayari yung podcast niya to life. Kaya siya lumapit sa akin. And ang pain points na naramdaman ni Dave is he wants to do a podcast pero ayaw niya na ng overwhelm kasi as a business owner, hindi naman yun yung superpower niya. Ang superpower niya is to make more collaborative efforts to gain more partners for his real estate business, collecting funds para dun sa real estate investing business nila, but not to do podcast post-production by himself. So, alam niya na if he will DIY his podcast, hindi ito mangyayari. Tapos, he thinks that podcasting task is sporadic para sa kanya. And then, as the podcast producer of Dave, ang goal ko is to effortlessly launch the podcast show from scratch. Meaning nga, from the idea that he has, gagawin natin to into life. Bubuhayin natin yung podcast show niya. So, ang goal ng podcast ni Dave is to create more network pa. Sa real estate kasi network game yan. So, ang gusto niya, yung message niya is ma-wide distribute pa across different podcast apps para yung mga target listeners niya is ma-consume ito by demand by by demand and kung ano yung preferred na podcast apps of choice nila. Tapos, syempre, ayun nga, yung ultimate goal is to use the podcast as a platform para mag-interview siya ng different people on the same industry na makaka-network niya. Kasi nga, real estate, network game yan. Mas madami ang kakilala mo, mas malaki yung chances na mag-grow mo yung business mo. And then, I came up to this process na ang gagawin lang ni Dave is number 1, to record the content. Tapos number 2, produce, strategize, and launch. Yung 2, 3, 4, ano na yan, wala na dyan si Dave. Tinanggal ko na siya sa equation. Bali, ako na yung bahala na mag-polish nung lahat ng collaterals na kailangan for the podcast. Ako yung magpo-promote, magdi-distribute, and magma-market. And ako na rin yung maglo-launch nung podcast show niya ready for consumption. And by doing this process, ito yung naging result dito sa client na to. Kung sinasabi niya kanina na if i-DIY niya, hindi mangyayari yung podcast niya. So imagine, right now, we are on the 180th podcast episode. Tapos, from kanina na he mentioned na hindi siya mangyayari, naging 2 times a week. So, nag-increase pa yung frequency. At ang naging process lang ni Dave is to record, upload, forget, and repeat. So, pagka-record niya, i-upload niya sa Dropbox namin, kalimutan niya yung process, ulitin niya lang ulit. So, imagine, with that process in place na ang kailangan niya lang is to record, mapapagod ba siya doon na ang ginagawa lang niya is the fun part, yung mag-interview. And with this process, ito yung nakuha kong testimonial dito sa client. He felt that the process was systematized and automated na for him. And he really don't have to think about it. Ang kailangan niya lang gawin is to click record. Tapos everything else is taken care of. So, the goal na to keep Dave na lang, parang isang portion lang yung participation niya and the rest hindi niya na kailangang alalahanin, made his podcast show possible. Ayan. So, paano ba namin to ginawa? So, ang naging participation lang ni Dave is to show up in every book interview and talk to his guests. Tapos, i-upload niya yung files dun sa cloud storage namin like Dropbox. Tapos, kalimutan niya na. The only thing na kailangan lang ni Dave is after na ma-publish yung episode, kailangan niya kausapin ulit yung naging guest niya for another meeting para naman sa growing each other's business conversation. So, si podcast, ang naging participation niya is mabuild yung rapport, respect, reciprocity, and yung trust ni Dave with that new person na naka-network niya. Since nakapag-usap na sila sa podcast, yung pagkakaroon ng second meeting to grow each other's business, parang hindi na sila strangers kasi naipakita na ni Dave na I can interview you on my podcast show na i-highlight ko yung expertise mo kasi nga guest interview series yung ginagawa ni Dave. And then yung grow each other's business conversation mas naging madali na for him. Ayan. Ito naman yung next na case study na gusto namin i-present sa inyo. Ating Eloisa.
Ayan, thank you, Se. And I am hoping na meron kayong nakita na isa sa mga 4 benefits na diniscuss namin kanina sa presentation ni Se about Dave. I hope meron kahit man lang isa na meron kayong nakita na benepisyo. So, ito naman po ang ikalawa natin na papakilala sa inyo. I want you all to meet Sam Laura Brown. She is a mindset coach and host of the Perfectionism Project. At nagkakilala kami ni Sam dahil nag-send siya sa akin ng parang sa isang online platform asking for help. And kung makikita niyo sa slide, sinabi niya dito na meron na siyang podcast. Compared to Dave na magsisimula from scratch, ang problema ni Sam is it's already launched, kaya lang ayaw niya nang gawin kasi it's very tedious. So, she was looking for help sa kanyang podcast at dun sa sa invitation niya sa akin, it was really itemized kung ano yung gusto niyang mangyari. So, step by step niya nang nilagay kung anong hinahanap niya. Sinulat niya rin kung ano yung tools na dapat kong gamitin. So, parang dito pa lang sinasabi na niya kung ano yung hinahanap niya talaga, na nanghihingi na siya ng tulong kasi hindi niya na kayang masustain ang post-production ng kanyang podcast. So, ang nangyari sa amin is having na ano na namin yung problema niya, nalaman na namin kung anong problema niya, we come up with a goal. And the main goal now is for us to take her away sa any tech and post-production process para makapag-focus siya sa pinaka-main task niya, which is the recording of the episode. Paano namin ginawa ito? Sa simpleng 3-step process na makikita nyo dito sa slides, ang sinunod namin na process ay first, step 1, record and forget about it. Huminto na ang participation ni Sam after step 1. And then step 2 and then step 3, that's my role. So nakita nyo kung paano namin na-achieve yung goal, yung for her to be out of the techie part, the post-production. So ang ginawa niya lang is to focus on the main task, which is to record her content, and then I'll take care of the rest. So 2 and 3, that's my process na. At sa pagsunod ng proseso na yon, ano bang naging resulta? Last April, we are able to reach the 1 million downloads for Sam after 200 plus episodes. And not only that, ang pinaka kasi ni Sam, pinaka dream niya ay magkaroon ng isa pang podcast which is exclusively only access ng kanyang mga group coaching members. This is a private podcast na hindi makikita kahit saang platform unless you are an exclusive member of her coaching program. So ang naging resulta, other than sa mahit namin ang 1 million downloads sa public podcast, nagkaroon pa ng pagkakataon na makapagbigay siya ng added value sa mga members ng kanyang group coaching. And ang resulta naman ng pagkakaroon ng private podcast ay samut-saring magagandang salita na nanggaling sa mga existing members. The reason kung bakit to ginagawa is because of retention. If you are going to pay monthly, yung monthly recurring payment kasi siya, you wanted to get more. Yun ang tendency natin ng mga tao eh. If we are paying more, we also expect na we can get more. So, sa ginawa ni Sam na pagbigay ng paggawa ng private podcast for the paid members, naramdaman ng mga paid members na special sila kasi this is only access via their private feed. Paano ba namin to ginawa? Paano bang ginawa dito? Paano na-achieve ang 1 million downloads at paano na-achieve na nagkaroon siya ng pagkakataon na gumawa pa ng isang podcast? Simple lang. Una is pinag-focus namin siya sa kanyang main task, which is to record. And then the second is paggawa ng content na tailored fit to her ideal listeners. If you will go back to dun sa umpisa ng presentation ko, ang pangalan ng kanyang show ay The Perfectionism Project. Sa title pa lang ng show, alam mo na kung sino ang gustong kausapin ni Sam. So we are able to come up with the content na hindi nagsasalita or hindi kumakausap sa lahat ng klase ng tao. So specific yung content niya na para dito sa mga kanyang ideal listeners. And then the third one, since she has a community, it's easy for her to market through the word of mouth. It's easy for her to ask her listeners that baka pwede nyo naman itong i-share sa ibang tao na sa tingin nyo ay matutulungan pa ng aking podcast. So yan,
Yes. So ayan, with the 2 case studies that we showed them, syempre ang tanong naman nila, teka, ano ba talaga yung nangyayari sa isang podcast show? So we broke down the whole process into like 5 bullets. So ang nangyayari sa isang podcast is the pre-recording stage, the recording, post-production, most probably dito tayo pumapasok, mga podcast VA, the publishing and promotion and marketing. And yung overall workflow nito ay ito siya. Bali, medyo linear lang yung pagkakapresent namin ng workflow, pero we will give context dito sa mga areas na to. Ayan, ating hati na lang tayo. So,
Sige.
with the first step is the pre-recording. So, ang pre-recording dito pumapasok yung yung content outline. Dito na rin pumapasok yung guest sourcing, yung pagkuha ng mga guests. So for Dave, ang main chunk kasi or main part ng podcast niya is guest interview. So sa pre-recording, dito tayo naghahanap ng guest na fitted to be on that podcast show. Tapos, for some naman, since solo episode siya, dito pumapasok yung pwedeng scripting or yung content outline. Ano ba yung ilalabas niyang content for that specific day or even for that month as theme. And tayo as podcast VA, doon tayo pwedeng tumulong sa kanya on how to craft that content, and also for the guest sourcing and booking, tayo naman yung maghahanap ng fitted guest for our client. And then step 2, kung meron na tayong recorded content, kung nagawa na natin meron na tayong guest or guest na ipapasok dun sa podcast, so magse-set tayo ng meeting to record the content. Meron tayong parang calendar, ika-calendar natin kung kailan sila mag-meet. And then, we will record the content. Ang content recording naman, in terms of tech, pwede natin gamitin ang Zoom to have like the video interview with the audio. Tapos, kapag available na yung recorded content natin, ito na yung medyo menial. Ito yung task na ayaw nang gawin ng mga clients natin. It's the post-production part. It's the show notes writing, editing the audio, creating the graphics for social media sa part ng part ng marketing nung episode ng clients natin. So, with the show notes writing, ano ba ito? Ang show notes writing is the part of the post-production where we bring in new flavor dun sa audio content. Meaning, gagawa tayo ng parang pinaka-written asset for that specific episode para when we post the podcast episode, meron ding mababasa yung ating mga listeners or consumers, or with the show notes, doon natin ilalagay yung mga information about the guest, halimbawa, or the key takeaways or some summary about the podcast show. So, ito yung pagbibigay ng new flavor dun sa audio content. Ang keyword dito sa show notes writing is repurposing eh. We will repurpose the audio to a text asset. Same content, same message, gagawin lang natin siyang written form. And with show notes writing, ang main talent or skill that dapat meron tayo is the attention to detail, our capacity to listen, and also some research skills. And makakapag-show notes tayo even using our Google document. Walang ibang special tools to deliver this task. And then, aside from the show notes writing, dito rin papasok yung editing the audio. Yung recorded content natin, since si podcast ay audio, pwede siyang video, pwede siyang audio, pero most probably yung mga lumalabas sa mga podcast apps is audio content siya. Sa editing naman ng audio, ang kailangan natin gawin is matutunan kung paano natin lilinisin yung audio content or yung recorded MP3s into a more consumable content, meaning malinis na siya, natanggal na natin yung mga fillers and outtakes and mga portions na hindi talaga kasama dun sa content. Ang ginagamit natin dito for editing the audio is yung pwedeng Adobe Audition, paid tool siya, pwede ring Audacity. So, Audacity is libre naman. So, ayun, pwede tayong magsimula with free tools like Audacity. And then, creating graphics for social media naman, this is, repurposing pa rin to. We will repurpose or we will create some social media creatives para naman i-promote yung podcast episode natin. So, ating Eloy?
Ayan, na ano nyo ba, nasundan nyo ba yung steps na sinishare ni Se? Yung kung paano nangyayari yung podcast show. So, recap lang tayo, yung diniscuss ni Se is yung pre-recording, which is yung kung solo is preparing the content outline, at kung may guest naman siya is for you to do guest management and sometimes research for who to guest. And then yung recording, which is the main task of your clients. And then the third one is the post-production, which consists of writing the show notes, yung pag-repurpose into a text asset, pag edit ng audio para naman hindi
Maganda sa
masakit sa
tech.
tenga, yon, magandang pakinggan. At ikatlo ay yung paggawa ng mga supporting promo materials para masuportahan ang ikaapat at huling step sa podcast workflow, which is the publishing and promotion and marketing. So sa publishing, dito pumapasok yung schedule episode on podcast host. Kasi ang podcast will need to have a host. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay nangangailangan ito ng bahay dahil may mga language ito na sila lang yung nagkakaintindihan, yung podcast hosting at saka yung podcast directories, podcast channels. Ano ba yung podcast hosting? Kung meron sa inyo na nakarinig na ng about Anchor, yun yung isang example ng podcast hosting, which is a free podcast hosting. Pag paid naman, meron dyan yung Libsyn, meron dyan ang Captivate at saka yung Simplecast at marami pang iba. At ikaw na podcast BA, you are responsible for the scheduling ng tamang episode na magpa-publish sa tamang araw at tamang oras. So, pagkatapos nun, pag na-schedule mo na siya, ang susunod mo namang i-schedule ay yung blog. Ano ba yung blog? Teka, may gagawin ka bang vlog? Hindi naman. Kasi yung show notes na nabanggit kanina ni Se, iyon yung gagawin mong blog post sa website ni client para may supporting document yung audio niya kasi madalas sa hindi ang mga nakikinig they are on the go. So for them to check out some resources, dito papasok yung kahalagahan ng merong mga supporting documents like uploading the show notes as a blog post. And then paano na pagka ang promotion kasi madalas sa hindi, ito yung pinaka hindi nagagawa ng parang akala kasi once na publish tapos na. Akala nila pagka yung na-schedule mo na-publish mo na yung blog post, wala ka nang gagawin. Pero yung work will not end there kasi you also have to tell people about the episode. Paano? Ano yung mga steps para magawa yon? Una, sa namin ni Se ay ang schedule of emails. Teka, gagawa ba akong emails? Hindi naman ako email marketer. Ang kagandahan nito, meron na tayong written assets, which is yung sabi ni Se kanina na show notes. So, ang gagawin mo na lang is you are going to help your client to repurpose it na ipo-format mo into an email, ilalagay mo sa kanilang email tool para ma-email blast nyo sa inyong email list. Para naman nalalaman ng mga tao sa email list ng inyong kliyente na meron siyang podcast episode. And then the last one for the promotion and marketing step would be the scheduling of social media posts. Siyempre, hindi ka naman gagawa ng audiogram, ng quote cards para lang may magawa ka dyan na nakatenga lang. Other than sa pagbigay mo ito sa mga guest para makatulong para sa pag-promote, responsibilidad mo din bilang podcast BA na masiguro na meron kayong social media assets na nakaschedule on a specific day for you naman na mapaalam ito sa mga followers nyo sa mga social media platforms. Ayan, Se.
Yes. Ayan. With all the with all the tasks na pinakita namin sa inyo na medyo marami, ang question is, how can clients leverage on having podcast assistants in their business? So, syempre, nakita nyo na ang daming ginagawa, di ba, in a podcast show. So, after nilang mag-record, kung sila pa mismo ang gagawa ng mga task na yun, yung mga clients naman natin has little or no experience at all in launching, producing, and managing the podcast. Hindi naman sila naging business owner para maging podcast VAs, di ba? So, very taxing at very mahirap for them to do it on their own. And ating Eloy?
Siyempre, hindi nga sila ano bang tawag dito? Hindi naman sila nag-podcast para mag-edit. Hindi rin sila nag-podcast para mag-write ng show notes. They would rather na mag-spend ng time sa recording lang, which is the thing that will make them or yung profitable na task for them.
Yes.
At syempre, if clients, meron siyang hindi naman siya nag-e-edit, hindi naman siya talaga expert sa pag-e-edit, sa pag-write ng show notes. Meron din tong mga may mga agam-agam rin siya sa kanyang skills. And sometimes sa pag-overthink ng ating client, nag-i-eat ito or kumakain ito ng sobrang oras sa kanila. So, anong mangyayari kapag gano'n?
Yes, syempre, yung outsourcing the podcast task ensures their clients to win. Kasi, syempre nga, dahil tayo naman as podcast VA, yun yung superpower natin. And kung mai-extend natin yung help na yun sa clients natin, ito yung magiging reason why or how we can become irreplaceable and indispensable podcast VA. If we can give their time back, if we can ensure na convenient para sa kanila yung pag-create ng podcast show nila, and also if we put them in control, they will surely win their businesses. Kaya ayan, ito yung gusto naming makita nyo kanina pa, yung paano kayo magiging indispensable na hindi kayo ma-appreciate ni client or nung mga podcasters ang inyong serbisyo. Tapos, ayan, ating Eloy, ano nga itong ating secret sauce?
Ayan. Ito yung lagi naming favorite namin to ni CE, yung 3 C's, the secret sauce of podcast servicing. Kasi lagi kami nakakarinig ng ng mga tanong, paano malalaman kung if this is for long term, paano malalaman if a client is willing to pay premium, paano malalaman if this is something yung income mo will be predictable. So sa tatlong category namin ito hinati-hati. So, ang secret sauce talaga namin is we serve clients and people na first ay meron klaro, may clarity na sila sa kanilang goal at sa kung ano ang magiging role ng podcast sa kanilang business. And then second is consistency and commitment. Napapansin na maano naman namin to parang mararamdaman nyo naman ito kapag nakakausap nyo na si client kung sinabi niya kung ano yung goal niya, bakit siya magpo-podcast. Malalaman mo kapag sinabi niya na this is all this is going to support my business, then most likely if this is going to support your business, magkakaroon to ng consistency and commitment kasi kasama ito sa marketing effort niya. And then the third one, which is yung pinaka-importante yata sa lahat ng second to clarity, yung community. Kasi we wanted to make sure that these people that we serve already has a community na meron na itong inaalagaan ng mga tao na that nire-respeto yung kanilang mga content na nilalabas. So, having a client na clear, consistent, at committed, and has a community will make up yung pinakamasarap na sauce sa podcast servicing, which is yung 3 C's nga. So, may daragdag ka pa ba dyan?
Ayan, okay na. Yan na talaga yung secret ng podcast servicing. Kasi kung makakakuha kayo ng client na may ganyan, for sure yung pag-work nyo sa kanila is magiging long term. So siguro bigyan namin kayo ng idea ni Eloisa kung gaano katagal ba ang samahan ng mga podcast VA at saka ng mga client. So dun sa dalawang client na sinabi namin sa inyo kanina or pinakita namin sa inyo, si si Sam at saka si Dave. Ako, I am with Dave since 2018. Up to now, client ko pa rin siya. And si Eloisa, gaano katagal na kayo ni Sam?
Oo, ano, kaka-anniversary lang namin. Nung June 16, ano na namin, ika-third year.
Yes. So, isipin nyo naman, if you're able to serve clients ng ganun katagal, na consistent, na meron silang every week, nagpapagawa sila sa inyo ng content. So, anong mabibring in nito sa mga freelance business nyo? It's the regularity ng income, di ba? And yun naman yung gusto natin, yung serbisyo na pangmatagalan, na clients will see us as partners, not just one-time contractors na after nilang ipagawa yung something, wala na. So, we really wanted for you guys to see na ang pagiging podcast VA is something na pwede kayong maka-develop ng business na na sustainable and profitable. So, ayun. I think that's the last of our presentation, pero we have like this dalawang question to. Normally, palagi kasi natin tong naririnig, and we want to, before natin i-open yung Q&A, bigyan na lang namin kayo ng FAQ. Kami, prepared na kami dun sa question. So, ayan. We encountered this question na like, I think a couple of months ago from Melods. So sabi niya, general VA daw siya, wanting to niche down, and she's interested sa pagiging podcast VA. I'd really like to know how a podcast VA can help a client from start to finish, and how to source clients for this niche. So kanina, kung natatandaan nyo, ang pinakita namin sa inyo ni Eloy is podcast launch saka podcast management. That is exactly how you can function as a podcast VA. It's either you help them launch their podcast idea, from being a podcast idea to being an actual podcast show. Tapos yung phase 2 naman is kung may podcast shows na sila, pwedeng kayo yung tumulong mag-maintain ng podcast, tapos yung mga tasks na gagawin nyo is kapares ng mga binanggit namin kanina sa workflow, which is pwede kayong maging involved sa pre-recording, kayo yung magbubook ng guest for the client, pwede rin naman na kayo yung in charge for the post-production, tapos yung sa promotion. So, madami talaga siyang moving pieces na pwede nyo i-offer yung service nyo. Kung alam nyo na yung areas na yun. Ayan natin, Ellie, may idadagdag ka pa.
Wala, copy-paste.
Ayan, siguro sa'yo na tong next.
Oo. So, ang second is from Cherry, yung finding premium clients to serve my podcast post-production services. Kaya namin naisip ni Se yung 3 Cs. Kasi lagi nga may nagtatanong sa amin, paano malalaman kung eto na yung the one, eto na yung premium na client sa kanila. So we usually tell yung mga tao na nagtatanong sa amin, saan at kung paano sila makakakita ng premium client is really to invite the prospect on a call para ma-filter nyo if they have clarity, if they have consistency, at saka kung may community na. Dahil depende yan sa pagtatanong eh. Hindi siya yung tatanungin nyo na parang nag-iimbestiga ka, pero nagtatanong ka para kang doktor na nagda-diagnose. You wanted to know first kung if this is going to be fit for your services. At saka syempre, para naman meron kang klarong pamamaraan kung paano mo i-strategize, kung paano mo tutulungan yung isang tao. Kaya lagi namin sagot kapag finding premium clients to serve my podcast post-production services is if they have a prospect, invite them on a call para matanong yung mga tanong na makakasagot if they have the 3 Cs. And that is usually saan ba nakikita mga clients. Kung nagpo-prospecting kayo sa mga online platforms, syempre available na dun lahat. Masasabihin nila kung sino hinahanap nila, and also to some Facebook groups na naghahanap ng tulong. Sa LinkedIn, if you are doing LinkedIn lead generation, that's also a place where you can get some of premium clients. Pero the main task for you is if you already gotten in touch with these people through this platform is to never keep of getting them on a call para matanong mo yung filter questions mo, and then you get the answers if they have the 3 Cs. Ayan.
Yun. I think that's the last
That's the end.
FAQ na natin. Ayan. Nandun pa kaya sila?
Ayun.
Ayan, ngayon ko lang
Ayan.
nakita yung comments.
Ayan, thank you so much, Mommy Eloisa and Mommy Se. Ayan, may mga questions ba ang mga mommy natin?
Ay,
Ma'am,
sige.
while waiting sa questions nila, ma'am, may follow-up question ako doon. Di ba you were mentioning about saan kaya pwedeng humanap ng clients? Ma'am, when you were both starting, kasi experts na kayo ngayon, ano? Pero when you were starting as a podcast VA, saan nyo nakita yung mga clients niyo?
Ayun. Ako na lang muna, Mama May, ang sasagot. Ayun, ako, Mami May, sa Upwork
Sige, ma'am.
talaga. Before ko na-discover yung, yung pagdi-DC or pagdi-discovery call, naging dependent din ako. When I was starting sa Upwork, doon ako nakahanap ng mga, actually, 3 of my premium clients doon ko nakuha. And what worked for me is isang tip din para sa may mga Upwork profile dito, protektahan nyo yung ratings nyo sa Upwork para magkaroon kayo ng advantage to magtaas ng rate pag nakita kasi nila na 5 stars, mga ganun, na maganda yung feedback sa inyo. Parang hindi sila mangingimi na i-hire kayo pag nakita nila someone ka na maayos magtrabaho. And sa Upwork naman, ayan, madami naman tayong nakukuha na podcast clients doon. Ayun.
I see. So, meron din pala siya sa Upwork, no? Ang galing. So, ayun mga moms, no? Apart from LinkedIn, meron din palang podcast VA ng mga available roles sa mga online freelancing platforms. So, you can take a look at that. And yung sabi nga ni na Mommy Se and Mommy Eloisa, pwede din sa Facebook group, sa mga Facebook communities. Ayan. Mom, you were discussing about the process. No? So, feeling ko, baka yung mga mommies natin, no, parang baka na-overwhelm sila. Hala, ganito pala ka-technical, ganito pala kahirap. Moms, when you guys were both starting, paano niyo siya, how did it come to a point na nabuo niyo yung proseso? Like, naging familiar kayo sa end-to-end process ng production. Paano niyo na-achieve yun?
Paano nga ba? Pero, naku, ang tagal na kasi. Pero ma'am, ang natatandaan ko na ginawa kong process is, muna, I take one task at a time. Yung naghanap ako ng one client for one task. Example, for podcast editing muna. Tapos, ginalingan ko na munang mag-edit. And then, when I had enough buffer na sa pag podcast editing, ginawa ko naman is, naghanap naman ako for show notes na kliyente. And then after nun, saka na nag-sink in sa akin na parang pwede naman pala siyang i-combine into one workflow. So all I have to do is to check and manage kung paano ko ba 'to gagawin, na how can I work ng very, very smart para hindi ako gumagastos ng sobra sa oras.
True.
At saka hindi ko rin china-charge ng sobra-sobra yung kliyente ko. Parang ang nangyari kasi, 'di ba, usually sa atin, sa ating mga, lalo na pag first timers, pag una nating gagawin, ang tagal talaga at saka mahirap talaga kasi parang wala pa naman akong narinig na kwento na nagsabi una niyang ginawa, alam na niyang gawin. Yung parang gano'n. So, nung una talaga ang tagal bago mo gagawin ang isang task. Pero ang ginawa ko talaga kasi nun is I focus on one task before ako nag-jump into another task. And then pag na-master ko na siya, saka ako nag-invite ulit ng another client. Pero ang pinakamagandang nangyari kasi doon, ma'am, is you are parang you are learning by doing. Pag nakita kasi ng isang kliyente mo that you are doing your best in one particular task, tatanong niya kung kaya mo ba 'to. And then siyempre, instinct mo na, sasabihin mo na, andito na yung pagkakataon kliyente mo na, sasabihin mo na sa kanya na, I want to try kahit hindi ko pa nagagawa. Pero you have to be very patient with me, ganun. So, ganun yung ginawa kong workflow ng unang-una. Ewan ko kay Se, pero isa-isa muna bago ko siya pinagsama-sama kasi baka sumabog yung ulo ko dahil may
Oo.
bata pa ako noon eh. So mahihirapan ako pag ano, ayun. Ikaw, paano?
Ayun. Siyempre parehas lang, copy-paste lang naman yung process natin parehas. So, same as kay Eloisa, ganun din lang muna, parang one skill at a time kasi ako din noon ay may baby. Maliit pang aking baby when we started, 10 months pa lang yung anakis ko noon. Pero ako kasi, Mami May, nag-start ako as a show notes writer. Show notes writer kasi show notes writing, tapos ang pinili kong mga industry ay yung industries na na interest ko, na meron akong little background para hindi ako mahihirapan na intindihin kung ano yung content kasi meron na akong, kumbaga may baon na ako. With show notes writing kasi para kang ang pinaka-simpleng niya, parang gagawin mo is magno-note take ka, kung ano yung naririnig mo, yun yung isusulat mo din eh. So, para kang nasa school, parang gano'n na kung ano yung content, kung ano yung context, ano ba yung pinaka-message nila, ikaw lang yung gagawa ng text asset noon. So, nag-start din ako as show notes writer at first. Tapos, pagka medyo mabait naman yung client, sasabihin mo na, okay lang ba if ako na lang yung mag-upload nitong content natin sa hosting. Tapos, na-edit naman na ng editor yung audio, ako na lang mag-upload. So, by being proactive like that, tinatawid mo na yung part na podcast manager ka na pala nang hindi mo napapansin. Na parang nako-collate mo na pala yung iba't ibang assets. Tapos nagle-level up na din yung kaya mong gawin. So, ayun lang, one skill at a time para hindi ka masyadong ma-overwhelm nung mga bagay-bagay.
Ayun, napakagandang tip nun ng mga mommy experts natin, no? Para hindi kayo ma-overwhelm kasi baka isipin nyo, hala, paano interested ako sa maging podcast VA pero how can I do it kung end-to-end process, okay? So, mga moms na sinabi nila. And Mommy Eloisa and Mommy Se, ganun din naman sinasabi natin sa Moms at Work Moms, no, na it did not happen overnight. So, walang overnight success. Yun talaga, there's a sabi niyo nga, napakaganda yung sinabi niyo, consistency, no? Always yan, kahit nasa pag-learn ng skills, you just have to be consistent. You just have to be patient. Kasi hindi naman yun instantaneously, magaling ka na. Di ba? Yung ganun. So, ayun. Ang sabi dito ni Marge, Moms, may tanong siya, what tools po ang usually na ginagamit ng mga podcast VAs?
Ayan. Siguro ating Eloy, sasagutin ko na yung sa editing. So,
sige.
yun nga, since ang daming task na involved sa pagiging podcast VA, for podcast audio editing, you can use Audacity. Or pagka medyo may budget na tayo, pwede tayong mag Adobe Audition. So, actually, yun lang yung, yun yung two na pwede namin sa inyo ni Eloy. Kasi yun yung ginagamit namin currently. So, yung ibang digital audio na workstation na ginagamit kasi hindi kami familiar. But, Audacity and Adobe Audition, ayun. Pwede nyo silang tingnan sa YouTube, ayan.
Oo.
Ayun. Go ahead, Mom. Sorry.
Oo, sige. Tapos sa editing 'yun, tapos sa show notes kasi nabanggit na ni Se kanina na ang kailangan niyo lang ay Google Docs at saka yung content from the client. Either Google Docs, Notepad, or Microsoft Word. Yun lang kailangan mo na tools. And then for social media naman kasi, meron, 'di ba parang ang Canva may video na din, Se? Di ba parang meron na dun, so yun, isang one-stop shop na to for you to create a social media assets for promotion para sa iyong mga clients. Yun lang ang kailangan mo na tools as if you are going to work as a podcast VA. Kasi sa free version pala ng Canva, ang dami mo nang magagawa eh. So yun lang. Tapos yung the rest kasi, yun ay shouldered na by the client. Like the hosting, yung sa websites, yung mga yung sa sourcing pa pala, tsaka research. Yun lang kailangan mo, ma'am. Marunong kang gumamit ng www.google.com. Yun lang, yung keyword research, ganun lang. Yun lang yung main tools. Yun.
Yan, Moms, may question pa dito si Annalisa. Sabi niya, how much is the learning curve for aspiring podcast VA?
Paano po yung learning curve? Sorry. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng learning curve?
Ano ba to? How much or how long? yung ano,
Baka how long, no?
Oo, kasi kung how much, depende sa kakayanan mo mag-invest ng meron kasing mga ano naman 'di ba ma'am, may mga tutorials naman sa YouTube. Pero meron ding Udemy, may Skillshare. So, yun yung ano, how much, part. Pero yung how long, hindi na namin sugarcoat ni Se. Talagang 'pag first time mo talagang gagawin, it will take you longer than you think you could imagine. Yung, sa ano ko na lang, base na lang sa experience ko ma'am, yung one time na nag-edit ako ng 30 minutes na audio, it took me 2 days.
Wow.
Kasi ang una doon is familiarity with the tools, yung Adobe Audition, and then also yung ano mo, obsession mo on what to edit and what not to edit. Yung revise ka ng revise. Ang ano pala doon, ang dapat na ginagawa is one edit, tapos pa-check mo na kay client. Kasi si client naman ang last say, hindi naman ikaw eh. So inabot ako 2 araw. Kakaano ko. Ikaw sa show notes, paano ka nun?
Ano kasi ako pag sa show note, nung una-una tayo nagsho-show notes, ang ginagawa ko talaga, palagi ko itong sinasabi kahit sa mentees natin, yung high attention to detail. Gumawa ka dun sa time na alam mong matatapos mo siya. Kasi kung yung babalik-balikan mo pa, parang nasisira yung momentum. So, siguro dun sa show notes, kung 30 minutes yung audio length ni client, sabihin na natin 2 oras. Ano talaga yun, full tutok. Yung distraction tinatanggal ko kasi ang ayoko nun yung babalikan ko na naman tapos makakalimutan ko kung ano yung sinabi or ano yung content. Gusto ko talaga isang upuan, high attention to detail. Tapos para tapos na siya kasi ayun, ayoko siyang balikan. So siguro yun lang for show notes, writing, 30-minute audio, 2 oras nung nagsa-start pa lang tayo. Ayan.
Oo, ayan. Wow, no? Ang dami nating natutunan kay Mommy Se at kay Mommy Eloisa. Ma'am, si Donna may question dito, ma'am. How much is the rate being a podcast VA from beginner, intermediate to advanced po?
Ayan. Actually, for the question po ni Donna, hindi, kasi kami ni Eloisa, di po kami naniniwala sa industry standard kasi we are the only person na magdidictate ng value natin. Pero kung siguro lang to, parang idea for anyone na gustong mag-set ng rate for themselves. Una, tingnan nyo muna kung gaano katagal nyo tinatapos yung isang podcast task. Orasan nyo yung sarili nyo to the point na hindi siya ganun kahaba dahil, paano ba siya? Yung trabaho with integrity. Kung per hour rate yan, hindi mo tatagalan yung trabaho mo just to sake na makasingil ka ng mataas. Trabahong patas, trabahong may value, trabahong may quality. Nung nag-start ako as a podcast VA, I gave myself a rate of $15 per hour. Tapos, sinet ko yung sarili ko na ang isang full episode ay matatapos ko ng 3 oras. Kasama na dun yung editing, audio editing, show notes writing, and social media. Regardless kung matagal ko siyang tapusin, kung umover siya ng 3 oras, I see to it na 3 oras lang yung sisingilin ko for client kasi alam ko na ito yung rate na husto para sa service na ginagawa ko for the client. So, ayun lang. With the industry standard talaga, wala. Hindi po kasi kami naniniwala ni Eloy with that.
Oo. Ayan. At kung ma'am, sinabi niya $15 nung starting siya. Kukwento ko naman yung side ko. $6.50 ako. Magkasama pa kami ni Se. Pero never ko naman siyang chinika na, yan, press naman kami ng ginagawa, taas-taas ng hindi, walang ganong energy between the both of us. Pero nung nag-start, kasi magkaiba kami ng economy. Di ba, ma'am? Magkaiba kami ng level ng Y. Baka ako, ito lang, baka ang level ng Y ko hindi naman sintaas ng level ng Y ni Se. At saka, baka magkaiba kami ng ekonomiya sa buhay. No? Diba? Oo. Tsaka yun na rin, pinakamalaki doon is yung mindset. Baka yung sa akin, ang mindset ko can only occupy $6.50 per hour. Yung case is malaki na yung mindset niya. Pero yun nung beginner ako ganun, $6.50. And then, naman siya, gradual naman siyang tumaas na ngayon, kung early ako, ang singil ko talaga is 30 to 50. Pero since ano na kami ni advance na kami, retainer na yung
Retainers.
ginagawa namin. Oo. Hindi na kami madalas sa hindi, retainer na yung usapan. Package niya, hindi na kami nag-hourly. Pero maganda yung sinabi ni na mag-start ng hourly, then you audit yourself and you go from there.
That's really true, Ma'am. Alam mo, Ma'am, kasi meron din kaming 5-day challenge sa Momsatwork, Moms, no? And most of the time lumalabas, like, how do you charge? Magkano ba ang charge for SMM newbie or web design newbie? Yan din, ang sagot namin, similar sa sagot ni Mami Ce and ni Mami Eloisa. No, it depends on you kung how do you find your worth, your value, and yung benefit ni client na makukuha sa services mo. So, kasi kayo lang naman when you try to research sa Google, iba-iba yung lalabas. Kasi iba-iba. Ganda ng sinabi ni Mami Eloisa. No? So, siguro nagbo-boil down talaga yun sa wise nyo, sa mindset nyo, and yung 'di ba, yung belief niyo sa worth and value that you can bring to the table.
Actually, Mami, may funny question kami dyan. Funny story kami dyan ni Eloisa. Yung kasi, parang tipong minsan, pag ang pinagbasihan mo kasi ng rate is yung rate ng iba, imbes na ang iba battle mo is yung rate mo for yourself, problema ka pa na sila ganito yung rate nila. Parang, if mag-focus na lang tayo kung ano yung internal, ano ba yung magagawa ko for this client, ano ba yung worth ko for this client, para at least yung problema mo at sinosolve mo is yung sarili mo lang na parang mindset problem. Pag kasi yung iba pa, parang ano ba yung ano pa ba yung dineliver nila na wala? Parang gano'n, parang ayan.
Parang ang hirap kasi, 'di ba? Ang hirap ng Manila, ano ba 'to, Ma'am, yung ang hirap magbase ng rate sa rate ng iba. The reason is hindi ka magfo-focus sa gagawin mo sa trabaho mo. Ang gagawin mo, maninilip at maninilip. So mawawala ka sa focus.
And another thing, Moms, no, 'di ba, pag naka-focus ka sa rate mo, ang pagtutuunan mo ng pansin is how can you be better? How can you deliver? How can you
yung results
give the result that you promised? Kasi di ba nag-charge ka ng ganito. So at least naka-focus siya sa sarili mo, of course you strive to do good, to be better, yung ganun nga ba. So at least sa iyo lang kung may stress man, may anxiety man, it's a battle within yourself. Hindi lang yung titignan mo yung kapitbahay mo, di ba yung gano'n? Di ba? Anyway, Moms, may question dito si Annalisa. Alam ko may meeting pa si Mami Eloisa.
Hindi, okay lang, Ma'am. 5 minutes pa na. Sige.
Moms, may question si Mami Anna here. Do you have local clients?
Yes po. Yes. Ano to po, for the past 4 years, aside from podcast education for VAs or for freelancers, we also advocate talaga na i-introduce yung podcasting sa locally. So right now, we have couple of podcaster clients na sinaserve namin ni Eloisa. Ayan.
Pwede ba namin banggitin, Ma'am, yung mga clients namin na
Sorry naman.
Oo, sige baby. Kasi yung latest na local client namin, Annalisa, if you wanted to check her out, yung kanyang bagong show, which is yung The Secured and Happy Lifestyle, it's available on Spotify. Si Coach Ayat yun. She, parang ang mission and vision niya is to raise entrepreneurial na mga kids. Yan. So, yun yung latest namin na local.
Yan. Another one is a podcast marketing expert is si Ann Peña Redondo. Her podcast is Pinto Top. So, mga 2 years na rin namin siyang mini-maintain. Ayan.
At saka yung isa na meron rin silang YouTube channel, si Nerding with You. If you wanted yung mga reviews sa mga series, sila Nerding with You, you can check them out. Available sa Spotify at saka may YouTube channel din sila. Yun, yung mga namin. Nag-promote pa kami.
Okay lang po. And in addition to that, Mom, yes, please feel free to promote what are you guys cooking for our mommy freelancers?
Ayan, ating Eloisa.
Ayan. Ayan na naman. Ma'am, we have a public group, yung hindi ko alam talaga, Ma'am, ValuePOD
VA school.
ValuePOD VA School. They can join the actually ValuePOD Podcast VA School, yung public Facebook group. They can join yung yung group na yun. And then sa guide section, meron na sila doon na pwedeng pagsimulan if they really wanted to try audio editing at saka show notes at saka yung mga guest research, meron na doon kami na readily available na nakalagay sa guide section. Ayun, ma'am.
Moms, di ba you want to promote something? Your course, your coaching program, or ano ba yun? Yes, go ahead, please.
Ayan, siguro, Mami May, actually, we finished kasi yung workshop namin last 2 weeks, I guess, about show notes writing and guest booking. I just want to do a shout out na lang dun sa mga nag-join. We have like 32 students who joined the program, and then ang title kasi nun is ValuePod Quick Win Podcast Skills Workshop. And ang isa sa win na nakuha namin from that group is that yung isang pinag-reach out namin na student doon sa dream client niya had a result na yung sa sobrang na-appreciate ng client yung ginawa niyang show notes. Gumawa yung client ng IG live nang umiiyak siya kasi feeling niya answered prayer yung ginawa ni Joren, yung isang mentee namin sa kanya. Kasi this client has been parang namamroblema siya na hindi niya mai-blast or hindi niya mai-promote yung specific episode na yun and feeling niya hindi niya nagagawin. Tapos suddenly si Joren nag-reach out dun sa client na yun and then sa sobrang na-appreciate niya. So, na gumawa siya ng IG live. Tapos sobrang thankful siya. Siguro minsan kasi akala natin yung value ng ginagawa natin is wala lang na parang we are just contractors. Pero talaga, when we know how to position the service and how to give value to our clients, hindi mo ma-expect isang show notes or isang written form na content nagpaiyak sa client hindi naman siya letter or something pero ayun lang po.
Ang galing, no? And that's what you call being indispensable, right? Because you have positioned yourself talaga na makonsider ka as success partner, business partner ng kliyente mo. Ayan, thank you so much, Mommy Eloisa and Mommy Se, for taking the time to walk our mommy freelancers dito sa Moms at Work po. And yeah, hope to have more collaborations in the future, Mom. We are so grateful for your time and for sharing your expertise. Ayan. So, alam ko may, Ma'am, saktong-sakto, Ma'am, 4:15. So, wala na po kayong mga questions, mga mommies. So, once again, thank you, Mommy Loisa, Mommy Se. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And happy Friday, happy weekend, everyone. Advance. Happy
Father's Day.
Thank you, everyone, Mom. Much love.
Thank you, Momsatwork.
Bye-bye.